Alright, this is actually a pretty big move from Google, and honestly, it feels like they're finally done playing around with Chromebooks. Because now, Google is introducing something called Googlebook, and from everything we know so far, this is not supposed to be another cheap school laptop. Google wants this to feel premium, more like a MacBook competitor instead of those low-cost Chromebooks people usually think about. And that alone changes everything. So here's the simple breakdown. Google basically looked at Chromebooks and said, okay, these are popular, but people still don't see them as premium laptops. Most people think of Chromebooks as school devices, budget laptops, or something you buy when you just need Chrome and YouTube. But Googlebook, that's supposed to be different. Google wants these laptops to feel high-end, polished, fast, and super consistent no matter which company makes them. And this is where things get interesting. Google is not making the hardware themselves. Instead, they're working with big laptop brands like Lenovo, Acer, Asus, HP, and Dell. So basically, all these companies will make Googlebooks, but Google is putting very strict rules on them. And honestly, this sounds a lot like what Apple does with MacBooks. Google is apparently controlling the hardware, the memory, the storage, even the keyboard layouts, which is kind of wild. Normally, with Android devices, every company does whatever they want. Different designs, different performance, different quality, different software experience. And sometimes that becomes messy. But Google doesn't want that happening with Googlebook. They want every Googlebook to feel similar and smooth no matter which brand. So if you buy a Dell Googlebook or an Asus Googlebook, Google wants both devices to feel equally premium. That's a very Apple-like strategy. Now let's talk about the processors, because this part surprised me. Google has partnered with Intel, Qualcomm, and MediaTek, but AMD is missing. No Ryzen chips, at least for now. And honestly, that's kind of shocking because Ryzen laptop chips are really popular right now. So seeing AMD completely absent from the first generation feels weird. Now, according to leaks, some Googlebooks may use Intel's new Wildcat Lake chips, and these processors sound designed for thin and light laptops. They focus on low power usage, better battery life, decent performance, and cooler temperatures. So don't expect giant gaming laptops here. This sounds more like super clean, lightweight productivity laptops. Probably students, office work, creators, web browsing, editing, AI features, that kind of stuff. And speaking of AI, you already know Google is going to push Gemini hard on these devices, like hard. I wouldn't be surprised if Googlebook becomes the main showcase for all of Google's AI features, especially because Google keeps talking about Google Intelligence lately. So imagine AI summaries, live translations, smart organization, AI editing, AI search everywhere in the system. That's probably where this is going. Now, another thing people are talking about is the return of the glow bar. And if you remember the old Chromebook Pixel from 2013, you probably remember this feature. Basically, it was this glowing light bar on the laptop, and honestly, it looked futuristic back then. Now, Google is bringing it back, but this time they say the glow bar will react to different workflows and things happening on the device. So maybe charging effects, AI notifications, productivity modes, assistant animations, microphone indicators, stuff like that. And honestly, this could either be really cool or extremely gimmicky, no middle ground. But I kind of like that Google is at least trying to make these laptops stand out visually. Because right now, most laptops all look the same. Gray rectangle, black keyboard, done. So having something unique could actually help. Now, here's the biggest question. Can Googlebook actually compete with MacBooks? Because that's clearly the target here. Google wants premium hardware, controlled experience, smooth software, long battery life, AI integration, consistent quality. That literally sounds like they studied Apple's homework. But the real challenge is going to be optimization, because Apple controls the hardware, the software, the chips, everything. Google is still relying on different companies to make the hardware, and that can become complicated very fast. Still, if Google actually pulls this off, Googlebook could become the first Chrome OS-style device people actually want instead of just settling for. And honestly, I think Google realized something important. The future laptop market is changing. People now care about battery life, AI features, lightweight designs, instant performance, and simplicity. Not everybody wants giant gaming laptops anymore, and Googlebook feels designed exactly for that modern audience. Simple, fast, smart, premium. At least that's the plan. Now, we still don't know the prices, exact specs, launch date, battery performance, display quality, or how powerful these chips really are. But one thing is clear. Google is taking laptops way more seriously now, and this might end up becoming the biggest change to Chrome OS devices in years.